Does the Pope hate capitalism? And as a business network, we wanted to look into this. Or is he just anti-free markets? Well, that would be hating capitalism. We took to the streets outside St. Patrick's Cathedral here in New York, where the Pope will be in just a few days, to hear what the people think of his monetary messages. Listen.
I think he's the most intelligent Pope they've had yet. He's got an open mind, and he needs a little direction possibly from the business community.
It's unbelievable to see the American people reacting so positive to him.
When you listen to his comments, he is actually a realist. He knows what's going on.
I think he's really concerned about the poor and the people who are downtrodden, and we all need to get on board.
I don't really think he's against capitalism. I think what his thoughts are is that people should share and be generous and not be greedy and self-serving.
I think what he's really trying to say is we need to start getting a better balance in how business is operated to be, let's say, fair to both business and to people, the environment, and all the things that the church stands for.
Yeah, and in just days, the Pope will be right there. Joining me now is the former ambassador to the Holy See and the former Republican National Committee Chair, Jim Nicolson. Jim, did you just hear those what we call MOS's, man on the street comments? Thought they were very interesting. People seem to be tempering the Pope's message for him.
I thought those comments were appropriate. People speaking affably about the Pope because he really does care about the poor, and we should all care about the poor. What I don't think the Pope fully understands is the system of capitalistic enterprise that we have here in the United States, and the derivative of that, which comes from the people and the individual freedom that the people have to take chances and take risks and create businesses and employ people, that has been so successful in our country that we have raised our country up into being a very prosperous country, and now a very generous country, and we share more than any other country in the world with other countries, both our material treasure, our military treasure. We, the United States, collectively truly care about the world's poor, and I think the Pope needs to know more about how much we do for people throughout the world and what our free enterprise, free market system has enabled us to do.
Well, I think you're right. I mean, the U.S. definitely shares its prosperity, sometimes too profligately when we give to certain regimes that end up squandering the money or putting it in Swiss bank accounts. But I think that perhaps that is a message he might see here in the United States. But one might just simply say, don't you need capitalism to create jobs, to get people out of a homeless situation?
The question is, how do you best help the poor? And we have proven the best way to help the poor is to enable them to raise out of poverty by giving them jobs, giving them an education, giving them hope, giving them an opportunity to participate in the system. And unfortunately, the Holy Father grew up in a Peronist Argentina, where it's one of crony, corrupt business, and he sees it. He sees it through that lens. He did say, on his trip coming back from South America a few weeks ago, that he was open-minded and that there were probably some things that he needed to learn. And so it's in that spirit that many of us here hope that during the 2+ days he's in the United States for the first time, that he will get a chance to develop an appreciation for just how great this country is and how generous it is, and it's able to do that because it's been a very successful business enterprise.
He will literally be 1 block from Fox Business. Our studios are about 1 block from St. Patrick's Cathedral, and when you walk up Fifth Avenue toward it, you see Saks Fifth Avenue, you see H&M, you see Rockefeller Center. I mean, it is capitalism in its finest areas, certainly, but also, as we look and see the Pope's message, he's got to bring back some of the disenfranchised Catholics. He really does have a tough job ahead of him. But I've talked to, I want to say millennials, younger people who say, Liz, I've gone to church more than I ever have because of this guy. It seems like he's at least striking a message that is one of inclusiveness for people who have felt that they were distanced.
He shows a real compassion for the poor and the vulnerable. And I think people of all stripes, of all economic levels, agree with that, and particularly those young people, those millennials. And he walks the talk. He lives a very simple life. He lives in a small, austere apartment in Rome, and he doesn't embellish, himself with all the luxuries that could inure to that job that he has. So he's very authentic and sincere about that. And he was in Argentina as well. He lived with the poor. So he really genuinely cares about them, as do so many other people, I think. But the question is, how do you best help the poor? And that's where I think the Pope could use some enlightenment.
I think you just enlightened our viewers by saying he grew up in Argentina, where the crony capitalism was a negative form of it. Jim, great to have you. Thank you so much. Are you going to get a chance to see him?
I am going to see him twice, yes.
Oh, that's great. Let us know how it goes. Jim Nicolson, former ambassador to the Holy See.